Hello Virgo, and thank you for being here on Dragonfly Soul Tarot. Today we are doing the 6-month reading for couples, and we are starting July, and for the next 6 months, maybe heading into January, February of 2022. And we're going to be looking at you and where you stand, where they stand, the relationship itself, advice, and a possible outcome. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. The first row of 3 cards is you, and we have the Two of Wands. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Swords. Oh, sorry about the glare. Now in the second row, which indicates them, we have the Lovers. We have the Ten of Wands. We have the Five of Swords. Okay. And then in the third row, we have the Hierophant. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the King of Swords. In the fourth row of advice, we have the King of Cups. We have the Devil. And we have the Nine of Pentacles. All right. And in the final row, we have the Ten of Swords. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and we have the Empress. Okay, so wow, there's a lot of distance between you at this time. You guys are doing your own thing, and you're not realizing how much you've neglected the relationship. You may be taking each other a little bit too much for granted. But let's begin and see where you are. We have the Seven of Swords, we have the Seven of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. Now, to me, the Two of Wands indicates some sort of separation. Now, maybe not literally, but for some of you, it may be a literal separation. But it could be a separation in the mental sense, where you are both together but leading very different, well, not different, but separate paths. You're doing your own thing, you're working very hard, and it's not going unnoticed that this is happening to you. You actually feel like they are not trying hard enough to make your connection as good as you want. You feel like they've kind of checked out, basically. So day in, day out, things are the same, and you are both pursuing your own different paths. But you're together, but you feel so alone, like you're working so hard on your own, and it's like a betrayal almost on their side, that they are not seeing all this happening and trying to fix what is going on in the relationship. So you kind of feel like you're going it alone at this point. There's a lot of mental, maybe even emotional distance between you two. So on their end, we have the Lovers, we have the Ten of Wands, and we have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords to me is an internal criticism. So they are. This is constantly on their mind, even though they're not expressing it to you, because this is you at this point, kind of upset that they are not expressing it to you, but they are. It is on their mind, and they are very upset about it. It is causing them a lot of turmoil, a lot of stress, but they are also working just as hard as you are. Like, you may have just started some sort of new work that is taking up a lot more of your time, but they've been working a lot too. So, and even if it isn't work, this relationship, this guilt about the way things are going is causing them a lot of heaviness. It's a heavy burden on them. And when we see the Lovers, we all often think, oh wow, the Lovers card. But no, in this case, the Lovers card is tension. It's snags. It's secrets. So you feel like you have a secret. You feel like they may be keeping a secret from you. And that's very evident by having both the Seven of Swords in your row and the Five of Swords in their row, which means a lot of internal turmoil on their part. So the Lovers card is a turning point in the relationship. It either moves forward or it falls. It fails. So at this point, the thing is that the lines of communication between the two of you has become so closed off, so internalized, that it's difficult to communicate about this. There may even be some outside interference at this point. So somebody else may be showing interest towards your partner, and you want to make sure that you do your best to open up the lines of communication, because they are very closed off about whatever it could be on their mind. Now, this is a general reading, of course, so this is not going to apply to everybody. So those who know who this reading resonates with will know. It will resonate with you. Now, this is the relationship itself. So the relationship is based on conventional values. So there's this fear that if something should go wrong, or if you should separate, that others are going to judge you and say, well, this is not the way a good, say, for example, a good Catholic relationship should be, that you never get divorced and that sort of thing. So there's this pressure to be conventional around you. You do have the Ten of Pentacles, so there's a very solid home base here. You've both built a very beautiful home base, and from the outside it looks very stable and conventional. Like you seem to have it all, but yet there's the King of Swords, the King of confrontation, the King of something very critical staring you in the face. So to the outside world, everything looks peachy keen, but there is the King of Swords there to cut into the facade and show the truth underneath. Just give me a second. I gotta move that fan because it's really drying out my throat. And is anybody else in a terrible, terrible heat wave these days? Okay, so we're going to move on to the advice column. So in the advice column, we have the Devil, we have the King of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the King of Cups, as opposed to the King of Swords, is the king of sensitivity. So the King of Cups knows how to approach a conversation non-confrontationally, so that people's feelings don't get hurt and people don't become defensive. Now, the fact that the Devil is here indicates to me that the advice is to become aware of the parts of your relationship that are causing detriment to the union. So the Devil is there staring you in the face, and you see it. You see it, but what are you doing about it? Are you doing your best to communicate how you feel? Can you find a way to coax them from their silence, from their secrets, right? Because when there are secrets, the relationship itself becomes the focus of, will it continue, or will it dissipate? right? So then we have the Nine of Pentacles. There is a lovely balance in the Nine of Pentacles, whereas the Ten of Wands is someone who's working really, really hard and being overburdened. And on your end, you have the Seven of Pentacles, so someone who's just coming into their talents and their skills and finding what works for them. So you're on one end of the spectrum and they seem to be on the other end of the spectrum, somebody who has been doing something for a long time and it's really heavy. With the Nine of Pentacles comes balance, appreciating what you have, knowing that you have this lovely abundance between you and appreciating it. So the Nine of Pentacles is appreciation. The Devil is the card that brings to light any sort of manipulation and if there should be any sort of dysfunction between you, it should be examined, because this is a very strong caution for people in relationship with someone who may be difficult to get away from, somebody who maybe you're in a codependent type relationship. So it's time to examine the relationship and ask yourself if it is healthy, and approach it like the King of Cups would approach it. The King of Cups would approach it with sensitivity, yet assurance, confidence. You know, like he won't beat around the bush, but at the same time he will not be so cutting as the King of Swords, and confrontational as well. So the final row, we have the beautiful Empress card, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords. And I do see some sort of resolution coming up in the next 6 to 8 months, where you do resolve this issue. You come together and you work it out. You do bring this into the open. You realize the Devil is there for you to examine the relationship and to bring to light the things that are hidden in the dark, like their depressed state about this inability to express themselves, and your feelings of betrayal for them not coming out to you to express themselves. That will all come to a head. And not only that, though, afterwards, the appreciation for all you have built together will culminate. And we have the beautiful Empress card, and you will find the sensuality once again between you two. It just takes opening up and finding that way to open up and discuss what has been an ongoing troublesome situation. This situation where they are feeling overburdened and you are learning something new, and both of you seem to be heading off in different directions, and for some there may be some outside interference that is making them question their particular connection with you. But I do see in the end that the sensuality will be restored between you two, and the appreciation for what you have. But it's going to be a tough confrontation first. So this confrontation is going to come, but it's not going to be the end. It's going to renew everything that you've built together, and it's going to renew the familiar base point and the sensuality between you two. So yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge to identify what exactly this this critical factor is in your relationship, because once you identify it, it can either go both ways, either way, right? Once you identify it, it can either end things or it can make you appreciate everything. But I see here that it's going to be a big confrontation, and either you renew your relationship and your appreciation of all that you have, or you may go in a different direction, because the Lover's card is a point where the relationship either grows or stops. So that is a very important card. It's a very key card in this entire reading, okay? But keep in mind, if you put in the work, you will get to this place, because you have built this lovely connection together, and you just need to come together again to appreciate what you've built and appreciate the family and home that you have together. And you can do it. You can do it. The thing I love about tarot card readings is they hold a mirror up to our current lives, so we can examine ourselves and where we are maybe failing or maybe struggling to keep things growing and blooming. Of course, after time, a relationship can become more, a little bit more, stagnant, more familiar. But after time, those who stay together, they overcome the hurdles. They overcome the hurdles, and they find that passion and family base that they can appreciate, that they built together. Okay, Virgo? That is your the couple's romance reading for the second half of 2021. If it resonated with you, please leave a comment down below. I would love to hear from you. Also, you can, if you subscribe to my videos, you can see what else I have coming up. I have some other interesting type layouts planned out for the future. So thanks for being here, Virgo, and don't forget to tell 2 friends, because they may need to hear these messages as well. Thanks for being here, Virgo. I hope this was helpful. Thanks so much for being here. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.